Folks, welcome back. My name is Rudy. You're watching Alpha Investments. Today, I shoved my head in the toilet to make it look like I had a haircut. And we're going to have a Pokemon conversation about the Sword and Shield era of all the yippity-yappity and yada-yada-yada, Fugazi, Fairy Dust, nobody cares. Sword and Shield era, in the last 9 months, was plagued with rumors and he said, she said, Rudy said, about all these reprints. Everybody dump your... I went through this with XY era, with evolutions in the Pokemon bathroom. Rudy, hurry up and dump it! They're going to reprint everything! And now we're going through with Sword and Shield. In the last 12 to 18 months, all the way on the downturn from the peak of 2021, I was constantly getting, even in probably the last few days, I get messages from the public, even patrons who are concerned, saying, Rudy, I'm nervous about holding my Sword and Shield era. I know how you feel about chilling rain and the revolving skies, and I know we got fusions and astrals and origins and silver temps, and I just want people to be aware. We are now approaching 2024. We're like 4 sets in to Scarlet Violet, okay? I'm pretty certain, with a pretty high degree of education to the 3rd grade, that I can tell you all, they are not going back and reprinting every set from the past. But Rudy, did you hear? The Pokemon Center, they even put like Sun and Moon boxes and everything's going back for sale. Okay, this happens like once or twice a year. We get these random things, or Pokemon does inventory at their corporate office basement, 6th floor, and they list an item that freaks people out. Then all of a sudden everybody gets upset because they buy said item, and they order 10 booster boxes of Sun and Moon and MSRP from Pokemon Direct, and they end up getting 10 booster packs instead of 10 booster boxes, and then all kinds of refunds and all this stuff happen. We've been through these things so many times. I feel like my content, I sound boring hearing my own words. And I went through all last year, and all 2023, and even at the end of 2022, constant messages of everyone saying, Rudy, they're going to reprint Chilling Reign a 4th time. Rudy, Evolving Skies, you better unload it at $300 a box before it goes back to $100. It's going to be Roaring Skies 2.0 from XY. Folks, if you listen to all this internet stuff, it will drive you crazy and lead you down a very turbulent path of inaccuracies. That's one thing we've talked about on this channel since the beginning of time with cardboard. Remember, over 90% of collectors, investors in cardboard, real estates, the stock market, crypto, or Bitcoin, any of these things, over 90% of people will never make money. They will never make the right decision, and they will get emotional, which will lead them to a decision that they regret in the long term. Whether it's, oh, Rudy, oh, God, I sold my Bitcoin at 20K because I knew it was going lower. And then Bitcoin went to 16. I told you it was going to crash. I'm not buying back till 8. And then it turns and you chase it. This happens with stocks, collectibles, Bitcoin, real estate. It happens in everything. Because remember, we are all meat popsicles. We are all humans. And when we have ideas and theories, one of the first things we do after running those through our head is we seek out some sort of feedback loop. We want to go online and try to find other people that feel the same way, right? You go online, does anybody else think like this? Beep, boop, 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 boop. Is anybody else concerned about that going down? Maybe I should wait. And the thing is, usually your instinct is correct. And usually you get led astray because you start reading random comments or random videos or a random person or a Facebook group, or all of a sudden you check your MySpace account and you lost a follower and you curl up and cry. It happens to everybody. But here we are, about to enter 2024. And I'm going to make this very simple thing for you all. This is pretty much the tail end of Sword and Shield era. And in my opinion, one of the best eras in blocks of Pokemon cards and trading cards of the world of Pokies and Moms, probably in the history of the game. I mean, look, XY era was great and all. It's all expensive and rare and everything. I personally, Sun and Moon, I wasn't a huge fan of it. XY era, it was fine. But to me, out of all those, and I have positions in all 3, if I had to pick between the 3 of them to sell you on Rudy's Pokemon Bathroom, which is all XY, or in my opinion, the cheaper Sword and Shield block is the king. The flavor, the lore, the sets, the art style, the overall era is going to be looked back upon, and millions of people are going to have a connection of some sort of emotional nostalgia from that COVID pandemic boom and bust, which was Sword and Shield. It will be looked back upon very differently. Where XY era, was overprinted, it collapsed, everything, and, then nobody wanted it. It has a different tone. It has a different view from the average person who's older or been through it. Sword and Shield, ask anybody. You will not find a single Pokemon hardcore person that's going to say Sword and Shield is so bad you should stay away. Nobody feels that way. The entire market adores the product. And it's not even that old. And I'm just here to tell you all, we're at the tail end of the product. If you look at supplies, market depths, quantity of each set, from battle styles to chilling, move forward to your evolvings and astrals and fusions and lost and tempest and brilliant stars. If you look at all these sets, just look at these main ones. You don't have to go way at the beginning and hit, Vivid Voltage or Darkness of Late. Just look at the big boys, okay? The chilling, the battle styles, the worst ever set. Battle styles will never get above $70, $80 again. And, you look at the Rockstar sets, the Brilliant, the Evolving, and I guess now Chilling Reign. And, when you look at these, look at the depth. Look at Lost Origin Silver Tempest. The last two was Lost Origin Silver Tempest. That had the final restock and reprint at the beginning of it. What was it, 6 months ago, 9 months? It was the last wave. And those prices of Lost Origins and Silver Tempest were creeping up to $200 a booster box. $50, $60 for ETBs. And the ETBs are down to what, 35, 40 shipped? The booster boxes went from almost 200. They got cooled and ice watered and they cooled off down to what, 130, 120? And now it's over with. We are seeing that market finally dry. And if you're this is it. There's no more waiting. This is the last time you will see the tail end of that Sword and Shield era with Lost Origins and Silver Tempest. The last two sets that were reprinted at the beginning of this year and the last two waves, you've already saw those last two bottom out from almost 200 all the way down to 110. And now both of them are already pushing 140s plus tax on TCG Player. And if you look at how many boxes are from even 140 to 200, I don't even think there's 100 boxes of each. It is so thin. And the market's love of these products, the trend is your friend until the end, around the bend. And of course, usually you'll find, your Chuck Norris or something. But I know it's not cool because nothing's skyrocketing and cardboard's dead and everything's negative. Don't watch Rudy. It's boring. There's no quick tendies. All I continue to see is data in products that are just thinning out and looking so beautiful. I've been telling you guys this for a while, and today I'm focusing on Pokemon because I've already told you all many of the Magic items that collapsed from 2021, 2, and 3. The supply of the collector boxes, the draft boxes, the set boxes has thinned out dramatically from all this collapsing. Same thing with Pokemon. Same thing with Weiss. I haven't made videos on Weiss. I'll publish it. But there's 8 Weiss sets that bottomed at 40, 50 a box that are now pushing 70, 80, 90. That have literally doubled in the last 6 months from the 40s to the 80s. And you go from the 80s to even 150, there's maybe 30 boxes. The reduction of these items that are getting taken by people who want them, you are going to see repricing into 2024. This is being filmed in Q4, November, December 2023. And I'm telling you all right now, Pokemon, the last block. Everybody's so busy saying, oh, Scarlet Violet's dead. Oh, every box is going to be $80 till the rest of eternity. The base set, terrible. 4 sets old already. Scarlet Violet base is down to, it's probably $50 a box by the time you watch this. Oh, wait, no. Scarlet Violet base is really? Is it back to 90 to 100? Oh, that's surprising for a product that was overprinted and worthless. Huh. Yeah, it's just same thing. Mr. P evolved. You got Charizard set. You've got Paradox. You've got 151. I don't see any problems. The only problem I see is the public's attitude towards the products. There is a disconnect between the products and what the public's expecting. And I've told you all, we are back to normal. And Pokemon boxes are supposed to come out and just sit there and do nothing. That is normal. We don't want to see Pokemon boxes come out at $100. We don't want to see them go to $50. Then you got to collapse. But Pokemon boxes that come out, pop to 110, go to 120, 130, go back to 110. Oh no, that one collapsed to 90. Oh, it's back to 100. This is normal 5, 10, 15% market swings as the product navigates the markets, the economies, and the players. There's nothing wrong with that. This is a normal, functioning, healthy market. And it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Now, when you see Magic products, like some of the old things from 2022 or the beginning of this year, Dominator Remastered, collapse 50% plus, those are collapses. And it's going to take time to recover if it ever does, because now it's labeled toxic. But I'm telling you all, folks, the pattern and this trend, this is it. Like, I got another video coming talking about some of the perspectives and conversations and sitting videos, but I just want you to know, from my point of view, if you believe and you like Sword and Shield era products, this is about it. I don't believe there are any reprints of any Sword and Shield left. We've seen every product already bottom a few months ago, probably during the panic and fear of Black Fridays and Cyber Mondays and Stepsister Tuesdays, and it's all over. Every single Pokemon product looks like it had a final bottom a few months ago. And every single one, including the two most followed, the last two that actually got a reprint, Lost Origins and Silver Tempest. Both of which, if you are truly serious about this industry, and you're into it for long term, and you believe in it, and you haven't changed your attitude with all the market noise, I don't know how you're not excited like I am. Because when I mean, go on TCG Player. Pick one. Pick Lost Origins booster boxes. Pick Chilling Reign, the one Rudy shills all the time. Pick any of them. Well, Lost Origins is cheaper. Chilling Reign's already moved up quite a bit. Or actually, no, they might be about the same now. You know, I mean, even Evolving Skies. People say, oh, Rudy, did you get out of all your Evolving Skies yet? At 200, at 300, at 400? It peaked at 450 for Evolving Skies. Evolving Skies is going to be a $1,000 box. I don't understand why people don't see it. And it blows my mind that people sold all their Evolving Skies at 200 because it went up. And then they sold it all again at 300. Oh, it's going crazy. I'm like, do you not realize? Look at older sets from XY. Ancient Origins, Primal Clash, Evolutions, Roaring Skies. Like, bad sets. Steam Siege. Bad set, right? Fates Collide? Bad set. These bad sets are $300 to $500 a box. And you want to tell me that a legend, a pure-blooded legend, like Evolving Skies, or Brilliant, or even Chilling, you want to tell me trash sets from 5 years ago are $300 to $500 a box. And you think Evolving Skies is peaked at the same price as a trash set. Like, we are just not on the same page, and that's okay. It is okay to disagree with people. It's okay to have different perspectives. But on a grand scale, over the next 5, 10 years in the big leagues, when we look back in 5, 10 years from now, and some idiot stumbles on my channel in 10 years from now, and it's 2030, okay, and this video is being filmed at the end of 2023 in December, okay, and someone's going, oh my God, it's 2030, and he's talking about Evolving Skies at 200, 300, 400? You really think, in the grand scheme of everything with life and markets, it just, like, you don't see it? It's like the market now. Rudy, did you see the Dow Jones Industrial Average hit an all-time high this week? It broke 37,000 on the Dow. Bitcoin's broke 43,000 again. Like, that's great and all, but you're too zoomed in. You gotta zoom out, folks. From an old fart who's been through all these eras and blocks of Pokemon, new card games, and Magic and old stuff, the cycles become so predictable. The only thing that's unpredictable is the rate of change and timing. The only thing you can't predict in this world is timing of events, which is why if you're an options or derivatives trader on Wall Street, you're an idiot. Okay? The only thing that is predictable is that the more patience and time in the market, you will beat the flippers. You will beat the people timing the market. You just have to wait. And that's the thing. That is my strongest characteristic when I talk about this stuff with you guys, is I can outweight everybody. I have no leverage. I have no debt. I can outweight everybody because I see an era of Pokemon in sealed product that I know for a very high degree of certainty that people are going to look back on and they're going to smile. And until that trend changes, I don't see that ever happening with Pokemon, the biggest IP in the world. People will miss out. And every time we have an uptick, people will scream bubble, they'll scream scam, they'll scream who's buying this, investors just selling back and forth to Rudy's X. You know, you don't see it. And I want you all to see it. Because if you reflect back in history of some of the awful Magic sets, Mercadian Masks, Invasion, Legions in Magic, or how about Pokemon, some of these older sets that are just not that good, but they're so rare to have unopened for someone to experience or have something of history like that. And I see those prices and I just laugh. I'm like, you think that old trash set that's worth $400 or $500 a box, you think that's a bad deal, but you think an amazing product that's already high demand from day one can't beat that? And it's a better product? The only difference is that one's 4 years newer and that one's 4 years older, so that one has more time under the belt. So what's going to happen when that one becomes 10 years old and that one becomes 6 years old? You don't think that one's probably going to outperform that one? It probably will. And I want you all to know, I'm just making a statement here. We are at the tail end of Sword and Shield era. I hope you had your positions. I hope you enjoyed it, because it will do some mind-blowing, mind-bending repricing and some unbelievable moves in the future. It's just people think too short-term. The definition of everyone on YouTube watching TikToks and YouTube shorts with chicks jiggling all their happiness around and getting excited and swipe, swipe, swipe. You're just staring you're like a zombie. That's all you're doing. And your brain is so wired for short term. You don't see the massive potential in front of you. You want Rudy's words of wisdom? Those are my words of wisdom. It's the closest thing I can help you guys to. You want to get rich and get money and buy my program? Fuck that. Be patient. Pay attention. Just give it time. Let time do the work. Trend is your friend. Till the end. Around the bend.